Sir Lawrence, hold on. Give us 1 sec. We have to do the introduction. All right, so welcome back, guys. Who child? It's springtime. And many Jamaicans' favorite pastime is to just relax at the beach, right? But it's also crocodile nesting season, and this can be very dangerous. Emphasis on the very, if we are not aware of our surroundings. So joining us to help us to understand the behavior of these animals is owner and operator of the Holland Bay Crocodile Sanctuary, Lawrence Henriquez. Good morning to you, sir, who is just giving us a lot of information.
Too much, if you ask me.
A lot of information about nesting and, hatching and all of these things. Sir Lawrence, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for giving us this very important information at this time of the year, right?
What the crocodiles doing at the beach, Sir Lawrence? I just want to ask for a friend.
Yeah.
Their habitat mainly are like the coastal wetlands of Jamaica, most on the south coast and a few little areas up on the north coast. But they're a estuarine type crocodile. They like salty, freshwater type environments where they live and feed. So you will find them on the beach areas where mangroves are, like Clarendon, St. Catherine, St. Elizabeth, all into Westmoreland, all around the Grill.
In shallow water?
Oh yeah, they're a saltwater tolerant crocodile.
Yes, there's a place in Clarendon called Salt River that I and my family, we frequent when we're there, and they found a few down there.
Oh, they are down there. They've been down there. Crocodiles, they've been on this island for over 2 million years.
Hey.
It's our fault. We've displaced them, so they're just...
Yeah, I mean, before independence, we had a good amount of wetland on the south coast of the island, coastal wetland. And then over the last 50, 60 years, development has taken its toll. I mean, we've lost probably close to 80% of our coastal wetlands. And that includes mangroves and other, estuarine areas.
Yeah.
So crocodiles now, they don't give up.
Oh, they don't
They
give up.
find alternatives where they can.
Yeah.
Or they live in the same place where you displace them.
Simone, you realize the thing is on the screen. It's not going to jump out at you, right?
At it.
Because
you don't understand.
So Lawrence, I mean, this is what your day looks like every day at Holland Bay. How many crocs do you have in the sanctuary?
At the moment, I have around 12 large males and 10 large females, and then I have some youngsters which were bred there, and then we'll have to find some homes for them.
Find some homes for them.
Yes, because we repatriate some back to the wild that we breed. Little nooks and crannies, we, put one crocodile here. We microchip them, we measure them, we do stats on them, check their health, and then NEPA decides sort of where we're going to put them.
Well,
because remember,
I have so many questions.
No, I know there's a lot, but what we have to understand
are they extinct? Are they still at risk of extinction, or are we breeding enough to keep?
No, we've done a lot of survey work over the last few years to get a better understanding of the population as it's spread around on the south coast. Poaching is still a problem.
Poaching?
Yes.
Okay.
This is people who are capturing them and
they're hunting the animal,
right?
And then they're butchering the animal and they're selling the meat. Now,
you've never had crocodile meat before, Simo?
You're not supposed to say if you have.
It's actually very
illegal.
I know it's illegal,
It is illegal because the Wildlife Act means that you're supposed to leave the animal alone.
What happens when they're caught? Because you find persons online who record these things and they record them on...
It's very difficult to catch people.
Really?
Yeah, NEPA tries, but again, resources and the rest of it, it's just difficult.
Yeah.
And remember, a lot of the habitat is so fragmented that if you don't have the resources, you can't possibly police these areas.
Yeah.
So people can do things, and you 1 minute you see a crocodile there, a week later, gone.
So nesting, sir. So
nesting.
Lawrence, nesting. Let's talk about nesting. It's a season, eh?
Right in the middle of it.
Why make it sound like Christmas? It's the season.
It's the season for the crocs are nesting. It's an interesting thing, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Normally, crocs start getting together around in November, December. Males start looking for females, so you'll find some movement around.
I'm sorry, I'm so.
Someone is shivering at every.
But yeah, so
yeah.
After the reproduction has taken place, as it were, the fertilization, the eggs have to develop inside the female. That lasts several weeks while the eggs grow. And then around about in the late February, early March. Can vary a little bit. Eggs are ready. Female looks for a place to deposit her eggs. And beach frontage, right up the back of mangrove areas where down to the beach. If there's a little bit of fresh water behind, like a runoff pond or something like that, where, because they need fresh water.
Okay.
Babies cannot live in seawater. They haven't developed the salt secreting glands for the first few weeks.
Gotcha.
So if you put them in the sea, they'll desiccate, they'll dehydrate. So you need sort of either fresh water or brackish water where the salinity levels are lower.
Right.
So she'll dig a hole, usually at night, not always, and just like a turtle, take her back feet and dig out her hole, a cavity, and then she'll go into like a tonic state, like in a hypnotic state, and then she'll drop her eggs in, cover back, and head back to water.
What does it look like though? Say you know,
You won't
somebody's
see them a lot
walking.
of the time. No, you won't. If you don't really see where the female has nested, a lot of the time you can walk right past the nest and not realize
And
it.
you don't
Buried
know.
so deeply.
Right, because most of the time, they're actually what we call, they're not mound nesters.
Okay,
You
got
have
it.
some species that build mounds, like the saltwater crocodile of Southeast Asia builds mound nesting. Whereas these guys basically dig holes in the ground. So you might, just like a turtle, so you might see a little bit of disturbance, but otherwise you wouldn't even know a lot of the time.
And if I'm walking the beach and I so happen to, you know, I see a croc there and she's not moving, it could just be that she's there guarding her nest.
Possibly.
Yeah.
What you don't want is to, like, people want to go and have a picnic and they don't want to be with the crowd and they go up the beach a little bit and spread out their blanket and put out the sandwiches and the drinks and everything, and they're up against the back of the mangroves and they don't realize there's a pool of water right behind, and they've actually put their blanket a few feet from a
I know this
nest.
part in the horror movie. I know what happens next.
No, it's not.
I can
no,
hear the music.
No. But what we have to understand with this is we want people to start to educate themselves about the behavior
just
of
being
these
vigilant,
animals.
yeah.
So that you go out there, you're a bit more aware of your
Yes,
surroundings.
yes.
The female crocodile is not normally going to nest away from a water source. And we're not talking the sea, we're talking a river, a gully, a drain that has water in it. Because she has to carry the babe. She has to extricate the nest. It's not like sea turtles or other turtles, which leave the eggs and go about their business after they've nested. Female crocodiles have to recover the babies. The babies don't have that ability to dig out.
Through the sand. Okay, got it.
Right.
Okay.
So if you are fortunate enough to buck up one of these creatures
One of these creatures.
in your daily swim, walk, picnic, as you put it, what do you do, Sir Lawrence?
Do not provoke it. In other words, don't get curious, don't take up a stick and prod it or anything like that or try to shoo it. If the animal stays its position and doesn't take off, because most times they will, you'll actually hear the splashing. If you're walking, you'll hear boom, boom, splash. It's already picked up on you and it's gone. They'll do that most of the time. But there are times when the animal stands its ground. For some reason, it's
And
not
it's
going to move.
protecting its young, too.
They're not necessarily going to be on the nest all the way.
Okay, gotcha.
They might come and check the nest, like every now and again, like if because you know mongoose is a predator.
Yes, yes.
And they will dig up their eggs.
Yes.
They'll go, and the female will go out and try and run the mongoose. So, but otherwise from that, the female will be hidden away. She'll be watching from a distance. And if anybody comes close, she might approach, she might come out to say basically, she's not going to basically rush you, but she might come out. What you don't want is basically to be caught off guard. That's why if you know there's a water area around, the possibility might be
That there's one
there.
Yeah.
And you can see tracks from time to time, not all the while, but you look around. But you don't just plunk yourself down, as it were, and go have a party and don't look around, because it can happen.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when one is there, just take yourself away quietly. Just walk away.
When do we call NEPA?
When you normally call NEPA is if an animal has found itself in a position that it shouldn't be, like in somebody's backyard. People have their houses that go on drains and gullies and that type, and there's water. Sometimes the animals find themselves up there because they're following waste material. Because, you know, people They will throw their dead animals, dogs, cats, and food sometimes into these. And the scent carries. And as long as it goes down towards the sea and places like that, an animal might find its way up looking for food because they are scavengers as well.
Yeah. So, Sir Lawrence, is it true that if they run you down, you must run in a zigzag position?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Just go.
Great. I thought,
They can turn around quite easily. No, just turn and just walk discreetly away. The chances of you, just walk away. The chances of you being chased by one of those animals is almost zero. That's what I'm saying. It's almost zero. So you don't have to worry about that. What you don't want to do is put yourself in a position where you actually put down or walk by a nest and all of a sudden you're confronted by an animal.
Yeah.
Then if that's the case,
be aware of where you
just
find
go.
yourself.
Take away yourself.
Just take away yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Don't
Follow
confront.
the rhythm.
Just take away yourself.
Yeah.
And that's only a small percentage of those animals.
Yeah.
Most females, I have seen nests in the wild, and I have gone within a couple of feet of the nest, and the female's just looking at me. She's not making any movement towards me. Just to give you an example, a few years ago, we took a female from the yacht club with NEPA. She nested right in the marina. And with all the boating and the kids and, the education and the swimming and the rest of it, you don't want a 9.5-foot female croc with a nest in the marina. So when I went down there, the nest was in the ground. We recovered the eggs. The female was there by the boats, just looking. It wasn't until I'd taken out all the eggs and put them in a box to incubate those separately.
She made advances.
She came up. She didn't. There were people around. This was in the early evening, just before dusk. And she came up and she just walked straight up to where I'd taken out the eggs and looked. And I was able to just put a rope on her, and we took her as well back to the sanctuary. Okay. She's a female that nests 50 eggs at a time.
Okay, great.
All right,
I'd love to meet her. Not.
Holland Bay is open to the public, sir, quickly.
Holland Bay is a sanctuary. It's open to the public. If you want to come and learn about what we do, about conservation of the wildlife as well as the wetlands, it's a place to come.
Sima and I will take a
No, I'm busy that
one day in the future.
I'm busy that day.
Thank you so much, sir. We learned so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Owner and operator of the Holland Bay Crocodile Sanctuary, Sir Lawrence Henriquez. All right. Well, after the break, guys, we have a chat with a remarkable young woman.
I have to recover myself.
Yeah.
You do that.
Sima, do that moment. Yeah.